Tired of dropping your phone or struggling to prop it up? Meet the Pop Sockets phone grip with expanding kickstand in black, your new must-have accessory. Don't miss out. Grab yours today. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
What's up, screen addicts? Today we're diving into a real treat for fans of dark fairy tales, Jason Brooks' low-budget take on Snow White, aptly titled The Death of Snow White. This film is like nothing you've seen before. It's a semi-serious retelling of the classic tale with a healthy dose of horror and gore. The question is, can they make this bloody mess work? So, let's start with the basics. Brooks' version of Snow White is made on a shoestring budget, estimated to be around 1/200 of Disney's massive budget for their live-action remake. And it shows, but in a weird way, that's actually part of its charm. The film feels like an elaborate fan film magnum opus, with Brooks and his team pulling off some impressive stunts on limited means. One of the most interesting things about The Death of Snow White is how it blends elements of horror and comedy. It's got all the hallmarks of a B-movie horror flick: gruesome killings, gratuitous gore, and even some F-bombs for good measure. But Brooks also throws in some comedic relief, courtesy of sidekicks like Bill and Ted-like duo Milo Meckham-Miller and Christopher Burnside. The problem is, it doesn't quite work. The humor feels forced and unnatural. Now I know what you're thinking. Isn't Snow White just a classic fairy tale? And you'd be right, but Brooks' version takes some creative liberties with the story. He adds in all sorts of gruesome details, like Elizabeth Bathory-inspired torture methods and a scene-stealing performance from Chelsea Edmondson as the evil queen. It's bloody brilliant, but also kind of overwhelming. Visual effects-wise, The Death of Snow White isn't half bad. The cinematography is crisp and widescreen, with some impressive production design that makes the film's medieval setting feel almost real. But beneath all that gory fun, there's a script that's trying to do too much Brooks and Naomi Meckham-Miller tussle with tonal consistency, veering wildly between humor and horror. The end result is a film that feels like a patchwork construct. It's a game of, let's see how many nods we can fit in without actually doing anything new. Sometimes it works, other times it falls flat. But hey, at least Brooks is having fun with the material, right? And if you're a fan of dark fairy tales, or just want to see something completely different from your usual Hollywood fare, then The Death of Snow White might be worth checking out. So there you have it, screen addicts, a bloody good time in a low-budget horror retelling of Snow White. Not for the faint of heart, but definitely not boring either.